Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to episode 102 now of the TNA Impact Wrestling TEW2013 Let's Play. You join us with an episode of Impact Wrestling this week as we continue on our way to the Slammiversary pay-per-view, which is coming up, not this week, but the end of next week after another Crossfire and Impact Wrestling. We'll just quickly say that before we start the show. Because it's taped on the same night as Crossfire, it is also going to be in the Richmond Coliseum. But without further ado guys, let's crack on and let's see how this show does as we continue with TNA. So it's ended out, we've got 13,553 in attendance, that's a good start. And about that had some solid in-ring action, but not much in the way of heat. The Kingdom, which is our tag team now of Paul Burchill and Redman, defeat the VIP list, which of course is Showtime and MVP, in 9:48 when Paul Burchill defeated Showtime by pinfall with a C4. 55 C-, not a bad match considering we're building these guys up from lower mid-card. No skill improvements, everything else will come over time. And a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat. Madison Rayne defeated Amazing Kong in 6:18 with a raindrop. A 60 C is not bad for two knockouts as we try and push up Madison Rayne before Amazing Kong's retirement. No skill improvements there. Negatives were just for low momentum and inconsistency and holding back. That's okay, we can fix that. And an about it featured great action and a good crowd. Rocky Romero defeated Mascara Dorado in 10:51 by pinfall. A 78B there just to give both guys a match before working back into storylines. Just really holding back in the poor gimmick of Mascara Dorado. And possibly the length because they are kind of upper mid-card main event talents, but we can work on that over time. It is only a pre-show match. So we start the show with our general manager for Impact, which is Kurt Angle. He makes his way to the ring. Hello everyone and welcome to TNA Impact Wrestling's premier show Impact. So much better than that garbage that Steve Austin thinks he can produce. So let's show Austin who the better general manager is. I'm going to make a big announcement regarding TNA Slammiversary. Let's bring back a match that I am one of the most successful in. Let's bring back the King of the Mountain match. But we're not going to put a title on the line. Instead, we'll hang a briefcase. We'll call it The Case. And inside it will be a title shot with the winner's choosing at any point over the next year. As for tonight, Steve has his tag team tournament. We'll put the tag champs in action. My friends Ibushi and Nakamura will take on the Killer Elite Squad. Whilst Punk, I'll give you a match tonight. I'll give you a match against an old friend in Davey Richards. Enjoy the show, and remember, Impact is number one. It's true. It's true. I want to point out that I had this idea the night before TNA announced they were bringing back King of the Mountain. I thought that's a great way that I could push somebody as a potential Money in the Bank winner. So I'm quite angry that TNA decided to announce it literally the night after I'd thought of this, and obviously the match will probably will be about to air. It may actually be in the same day or just after when this actual episode airs. So didn't steal the angle from TNA. I just happened to think of it the day before they released it, and I'm really angry about that. But it's a good chance to bring back some history to TNA, and at the same time a chance to build a potential star of the future with the briefcase. In our first match, it's an extremely short match. Samoa Joe defeats Robbie E in 4:33 by pinfall. Simple squash match, 70C+. We still need to change Joe's character. Obviously I've not been able to do that, so we can do that heading into next week's episode. The colour commentary gave the match a boost. Joe's improving his performance skills. Negatives just for inconsistency and holding back, and obviously Joe's stale character. For the second week in a row, Madison Rayne comes out and helps Robbie to the back, so she's still feeling the sympathy of Robbie, and she's came to just help him at the back, make sure he's okay. That's a 48D+, negatives there, both people with low momentum. A video package airs showing Bram. It shows him in an underground fight club, brawling with various guys and knocking them out. At the end of the video, he pops up on the screen with blood on his taped hands and says, "I am Bram and I am violence." So 54 C- there, it's just a vignette to highlight the destruction of Bram. Bram's then in action in an extremely short match. Bram defeated the Amazing Red in 5:16 with a curb stomp, 55 C-. Announcing quality lifted the match. Bram's improving his technical skills. Another basic squash match to get Bram over, with very few negatives there. We then have Kurt Angle booking a match for next week's show between Mia Yim and Melissa, giving Melissa one last chance to win the Knockouts title. That got a 57 C-, and the Knockout storyline continues there. I will book that now, so I don't forget. So it's going to be an Impact Wrestling next week. It's not going to be in the pay-per-view, and it is going to be Mia Yim. So let's quickly put in the women's division. To show you how much a stacked roster I've actually got. So we'll be hoping to release a couple of superstars soon, hopefully. I think we've got far too many and there's a lot we're not really investing in, so it's probably best we just release them and go with a limited roster. And that's cool, that's it booked in for next week's show. In a match that had some good action and average heat, Matt Sydal defeated DJZ in 7:26 with a Cyclorama. Basic match again, putting Matt Sydal over, 63C, no skill improvements, basically again, not really a squash, but was more so to highlight the rise of Matt Sydal. Once again we see Jeff Hardy looping around his locker room, with a hooded figure popping in the door before quickly leaving. Who is this mysterious stalker on Jeff Hardy instead of Jeff stalking Madison Rayne? Time will tell, but that was a 55 C- segment, so Jeff's obviously not over. Next up, in a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat, Team 3D defeated Crime Time in 7:37 when Billy Ray defeated Jason Paul by pinfall with a 3D, 74 B-, that's very surprising. This was the number one contenderships tournament final, so it's going to be Team 3D against the winners of the main event match later on. Brother Devon was off his game. Tracy Brooks did some good work at ringside. The NYV Hollywood storyline has advanced, so that storyline is going to cover this feud and the feud with Morrison and Joey Ryan, so I might need to look at changing that. But both teams great chemistry, no skill improvements, but we're going to give Team 3D another shot at the titles, despite their age. And then the Hollywood Supernovas disappoint with this segment, which is only 59C. Excuse me. One member of the former Hollywood Supernovas, Joey Ryan, comes to the ring. Did you see the footage of Crossfire? My so-called partner Morrison with a nice little cheap shot on Hollywood's greatest. I gave Morrison a chance. When he was struggling, I gave him a chance to become a man again, the main man. We win the titles, and then he loses them. Then he sucker punches me. It's disgusting. So next Sunday, Slammiversary, Morrison versus Joey Ryan. You down? Morrison's music hits and he comes to the ring. Comes to the ramp. Loser? Really? I lost one match. How many have you lost in your career? You're just upset, and you obviously value that title more than our friendship. So with regards to Slammiversary, you're on. I'm down to dance. So that match is going to be booked in. Morrison versus Joey Ryan. I don't know if it's going to be a normal match or a stipulation, but they will clash at Slammiversary as we put our card together. Both guys get poor gimmicks, I may look to alter that. And about the feature, great action and a good crowd. Hawkins and EC3 defeated Adam Cole and Drew Galloway in 9:35 when EC3 defeated Drew Galloway with a headlock driver. 75 B-, so a decent match up there. Probably could have done better with Adam Cole and EC3 in it, but I suppose Drew and Hawkins would bring it down. Hawkins and Drew were off their game. Piper did some good work at ringside. The trouble for the EC3 storyline has advanced with the segment. No skill improvements. And again, a lot of poor gimmicks, which is quite worrying. Hawkins and Adam Cole both suffering with that, so we may look to change them as well. The announcers put over the fact that we'll be seeing Ricochet in action next for a 70C+. His match, and about it, featured great action and average heat. James Storm was defeated by Ricochet in 8:59 with the Chocolate Rain, 68C+. Ricochet again hinting at the face turn, but I get little reaction. The fans recognise it's not his strong suit. James Storm is improving his flying skills. Couple of negatives there. Burnt out crowd, but that's not my fault for not pacing the show correctly, and it's obviously one thing I want to learn of. During playing TW, I want to finally get the perfect show theory sorted, so that's my fault for just overbooking stuff. I should have put a wee lesser segment in, but we can carry on from there. And about the featured great action and a good crowd, State of Mind defeated the Killer Elite Squad in 1507 when Nakamura defeated Lance Holt by pinfall with a Bomber Yi. State of Mind make defence number 2 of their TNA World Tag Team titles. 77B, just a good match, again hopefully elevating the championships of the tag team division. Good win for the heels, and Lance Holt improving his rumble and technical skills, so delighted with that. Let's look at the dirt sheet. Oh, lots and lots of negatives, lots of positives, but lots of negatives as well. And hopefully we can get the prestige up, get the just overall every title up a bit more prestige with these kind of guys in title matches, and hopefully it can only better off the company. So here we are, less than 2 weeks away from our next pay-per-view, and I still don't have a challenger. Honestly, what kind of management do we have by Kurt Angle? But anyway, tonight I face an old friend, Davey Richards, a talented guy. Maybe he hasn't quite had the break he needs in TNA, but one guy who'll take me to my limits. But at the end of the day, his limits can't handle me, and I'll stand supreme, because I'm the best in the world, and no one, and I mean no one, can beat CM Punk. It's Clubber in town, boys. So Punk's putting out a promo saying that no one can beat him. Davey Richards might not have had a great time, but he always gets the best out of him when he fights him. It's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, CM Punk is confident he can beat Davey Richards. 98 rated match, and that's with Punk having a still character and coming out to a cold crowd, so that's incredible. So look at that with CM Punk as well. A lot of characters can need a wee bit of change. Match itself, will it deliver? It doesn't again, so that's quite worrying. And about it featured great action, an average heat. CM Punk defeated Davey Richards in 1753 by pinfall with a GTS. 73 B-. Obviously Punk is the top man, Davey Richards is in the lower mid-card, but I was hoping this match would help elevate him. That's why we made it kind of scripted and open. Match was too long given that he was involved, which is a shame. Hopefully it benefits Davey Richards. Punk improves his flying and performance skills, so he's only going to get better. And just low momentum, both guys holding back, and the pushes being involved. We really need the main segment to really get us a good rating here, or we're going to be struggling. Potentially looking at another 70 odd rated show and dropping more pop. It's not too bad, it's not great. CM Punk looks around to get his title, he grabs it before turning, and bang, he's attacked out of nowhere by Samoa Joe. Angelina Love is ringside, egging Joe on. Joe hits Punk with lefts and rights before knocking him to the floor and performing a flying senton. The kind of thing that he does and Kevin Owens does, not an actual a senton bomb. He picks Punk up and then sets him up and delivers a muscle buster. He looks at the championship, he picks it up and signals that this is his intention, while Angelina mugs off the crowd and raises Joe's other hand. 79B, not too bad, but I say it's going to be Punk and Joe at Slammiversary. Punk was good, Joe performed poorly, Joe needs a character change, we'll get to that after this show. And overall that gives us, can we squeeze an 80 because of that Punk promo? 77. The show increased their pop in 4 regions, it lost its pop in 17 because obviously it's a more global audience for that. So I'm assuming we lost it in America and England, and because we're now in Australia, that'll be the 4 places we gain pop. So it's literally every match is going to have to be Punk against like Nakamura or whatever to hopefully get that over. But we'll see, maybe Punk versus Joe can draw. But quite disappointing that that's been 2 shows in a row of lost pop, just probably because of the high standard that we brought in for our main event guys, and as we're trying to push other guys up there, they're not quite at the level that we'd want them to be. So maybe it's still a bit too early for the likes of EC3, Ricochet. We can only find out, I suppose we can only wait and see and try and get those guys up. But without looking at many of these, because there's maybe a couple of guys I might look at the emails. Owner position is up at PDM. Chris Jericho has finally arrived, so that's obviously going to help us that Jericho's here. Kurt Angle's complaining, doesn't really matter. Austin Draven, I don't know who that is. Oh, we're looking at Judas Devlin. No, apparently I was looking at Judas Devlin. Completely forgot about that. Harry Smith complains because we put him in 2 matches and he's had a grueling schedule. Down 0.01 on Bravo. and down 0.28 on Spike. So I'm not going to look at decisions in case it's a spoiler, but the size 66 in Great Lakes and 66 in Puerto Rico is not good. We need to get them back up. We need to make sure everything is still national so we don't drop back down to cult. So hopefully we can get a couple of good shows. But I say we'll start to pick up in Australia, just purely because our TV deal is there. It's got to be 8 regions over 65, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are way over, 2 that are just. So it's the Great Lakes and Puerto Rico we need to worry about, and hopefully get the Northwest up as well, just to make sure we're way above it and we're going to stay national for the foreseeable future. So hopefully the addition of Jericho changes the whole picture. Hopefully we can gain a bit more momentum, get some more popularity, and continue to kick on. It'll be interesting to see where we fit Chris Jericho in with the rest of our plans. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. If you've got any comments, please leave them in the comments section below, or put them in Reddit, because this video will be put on Reddit as well. And if you haven't subbed already, please hit that sub button and it will drop any further TW videos into your sub box. But until next time, it's 21 Maxwell. I'll speak to you all real soon. Bye bye.